Hello, Jesus Freak. I noticed that you made a video just recently, Are Christians Crazy? Basically inspired by some comments that Mr. Supermassive Atheist, who, by the way, I recommend that people can go to my front page, click on his deal, check him out, he's right on my friend's board. He basically made an argument in a chat room not so long ago that Christianity, as well as a lot of religions out there, seem to share the same symptoms as one who would have what others would refer to maybe as memes or mind viruses and all that. Now, Jesus Freak, you probably can see the text in front of you, I'm thinking. That's the whole point. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder characterized by a disintegration of the process of thinking and emotional responsiveness. It most commonly manifests as auditory hallucinations, paranoid or bizarre delusions, or disorganized speech and thinking. And it's accompanied by a significant social or occupational dysfunction. The onset of symptoms typically occurs in young adulthood. Now, you notice a lot of Christians and stuff have basically grown up into the religion. As you said, even in your own video, everybody's basically an atheist until religion is taught. And then, of course, as that is pushed into them. Now, not only could Christianity, as well as these other religions out there, Abrahamic faiths, be considered like that of a mental virus, but they could also be considered as even that of just straight up brainwashing and stuff. And what is brainwashing anyway, Jesus Freak? Brainwashing is when you basically, you're cracking someone's psychological makeup up. You're basically putting it into their head that they are no good, that they're worthless, or that they are weak, and that you basically put them in a mindset where you can almost control them. I'm sure you have seen some of these silly movies out here that kind of exaggerate it a little bit, but the idea is to control people's mind and to make people feel as though by certain words or certain suggestions they will do these things. And in religion, there has been a study done on it. You can actually look this up. It's I believe it is referred to as mass hypnosis. You can actually check that out. This is one of the reasons why you will hear some atheists who will make the argument that religion does cause a form of mental illness or a mind virus. Some people, of course, will say it just to dig into you and stuff because they're pissed off at your attitude and behavior sometimes. But one could really sit down and do it, and I'll give you some examples to make this argument. Now, Jesus Freak, you know that I like you. You know that I enjoy your presence and your company in my chat rooms and everything. But there's even some things that you yourself have expressed publicly over the mic, so it's not like I'm sharing something personal here. These are some of the things that you've actually said in your video. You are one of the few Christians out there who've actually tried to make an argument that slavery in the Bible was good because God did so. You can't, I guarantee if I were to sit here and bring up slavery, like what we had going on in the Civil War or something, slavery that involves whipping people and making people do things like such as crops or whatever, you would be offended. You know, your eyelids would flutter and you would get red in the face just thinking about that. But then whenever someone shows you in the Bible, especially in the book of Exodus, where it teaches you how to treat your slaves, that you could actually beat them just as long as you beat them a certain way, or if you happen to kill your property, this to you doesn't even cause you to flinch. It doesn't cause you to bother. Religion has caused your morals and your ethics to be warped. In some instances, because it's in the Bible, you will actually try to justify slavery itself. And this next example I'm going to give, I'm not going to bother saying the name of the person that you spoke of. I will just say loved one. You have said over and over that if a voice in your head were to suggest or declare or command or demand for you to kill your own loved ones, your closest loved ones, I'm not going to mention names or individuals, you know what I'm talking about, you said that you would do it. You were also asked if you would go into a city and kill every man, woman, and child if God told you to. For the last couple of years on YouTube as well as in public chat rooms, when asked this question, you say that you would. Now, you cannot possibly try to sit here and say that that does not sound just a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I'm not trying to hate on you or anything, but religion has this tendency to make a person who does have good intentions, a person who is a good person in real life. Sometimes the things that religion causes people to say because of the way they believe in it makes them sound utterly fucking nuts. Less than 3 days ago, someone in my chat room asked you in public chat, and you answered publicly, that if your loved ones were to die and it ended up in a situation where they would end up in hell because they didn't follow God properly or they just didn't have the mark, you said, well, I'd feel bad, but that was her choice or their choice, because I don't want to get personal here. I don't want to point out the individuals. Let's just say it's someone that you love with all your heart. I know this person you would probably be willing to die for this person and do everything you can to protect this person. But when it comes to your religion, you sound completely non-empathetic, no sympathy, no compassion. You've even said that if this person that you loved with all your heart were to burn in hell for all eternity, you would still do your best to enjoy your prize and treasure in heaven. And I would think that if someone out there that you truly loved with all of your heart, that the treasure of heaven would be to be with that person for all eternity, not for you to selfishly be alone in some paradise all by yourself, sharing your experiences and moments with no one. Like I've always said, what's the point of heaven if you're not even going to be able to have those people that you love to share it with? But you seem to have no problem with it. You're just like, well, I guess I'll just have to move on. Too bad for her. You have made the statements over and over to atheists as well as other Christians that there are certain denominations of Christianity out there, or what you would claim call themselves Christians but are not. You have said that at one point in time you were a Mormon in your life, but you say that their beliefs and their views and their ideas are absolutely insane. You also will make the same call on Jehovah's Witnesses. Sister Sunshine will say the same kind of stuff about Catholics. She will claim that they are the whore of the Babylon and that they're going to bring forth the end of the world. You guys sound like you're paranoid. You guys sound like you see the insanity in other people's religions. But if someone brings up talking donkeys or moonwalking snakes in the book of Genesis that seem to be speaking quite well whenever it comes to language, at least to the point where humanity can understand the talking animal, this, for you, makes complete and utter sense. The idea of some flying dead zombie Jew coming out of the clouds and then murdering itself on a cross somehow brings you some kind of, it sounds reasonable to you. The idea that a God has to kill itself in order to save you from itself for itself. You can't see the insanity in that, but if I bring up Joseph Smith and all of his wives and Planet Kolob where God lives, and the reason why people are black people is because they have some demonic curse on them from the Mormon religion, you're all over that shit like maggots on shit. Can you not see the problem? Jesus Freak, you've even admitted yourself a few times and stuff when things got really relaxed in the room and there wasn't a lot of people listening or a lot of people watching. You realize that in a lot of ways your religion seems like it's very, very strange and unusual. And you've even said that you can understand why people won't believe some of the stories in the Bible, but still they should try their best to have faith. You always end it with, God can do anything. With God, nothing's impossible. Except for whenever it comes to everybody else's religion, and it's absolutely false or demonic. Jesus Freak, I don't have to remind you and tell you, and I think that you'll agree with me if I say this. If I were to head down to McDonald's right now, and I were to go inside instead of waiting through the drive-thru for a double cheeseburger, please, and a chocolate shake with a cherry on bottom, with a large smackdown box of fries, I go in, I sit down, and I begin having a conversation with something I've created in my head called the Cosmic Bunny Rabbit. And the cosmic bunny rabbit, what he does when he gets angry, he shits carrot missiles at people as well as living organisms whenever it's angry. And I started talking to the fucking rabbit, and people are looking at me while I'm having a conversation with my eyes closed, my palms together like a retarded fucking seal. I'm sitting there eating my fucking fries, and I'm talking to a space bunny, okay? A fucking space bunny rabbit. And then I start saying, so, Mr. Space Bunny Rabbit, how is it that the universe exists? And the bunny rabbit says that he chewed his cud over and over, and he pooped little pellets, and those became planets. You know as well as I that if you were sitting in McDonald's with your loved one, seeing me sitting over in the corner having a goddamn conversation with a fucking cosmic celestial bunny rabbit, your ass would get up and say, honey, let's get out of here as quickly as possible. He is clearly unstable. Let's take our food to go. Am I right? You know it to be true. The only difference between religion and psychotic fucking people out there in the world, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not trying to be cold-blooded, is tax exemption. If it wasn't for your particular religion and the Abrahamic religion that that you guys got going on with the Jews and the Muslims and everything else, if it wasn't for popularity and stuff, you guys would be sitting in a fucking straitjacket off in some little dark room getting medication from a fat nurse and shit who doesn't like her job. I'm sorry, but it does come off as though you guys are crazy sometimes. But you know what? I like you nonetheless. I dig you. And I think that one day you will end up becoming a skeptic. And whether you become a skeptic or not, Jesus Freak, I'm going to respect you nonetheless. I watch your videos, even though you admit that you won't watch mine because they piss you off. But I still watch yours. I respect a lot of things that you say. I respect you as a father, as a man, and all that. But damn it, this video, you asked for it. You basically just opened up the can and said, give it to me. Well, I've given it to you. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and you shall open. You got all you wanted out of this. Peace the fuck out.